Boom, hello, and welcome to this live show. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm going to be talking to you about why motivation is not enough and how realtors can win in 2026. Why motivation is not enough and how realtors can win in 2026. So if you're just jumping on here live, please type hashtag live in the comment section. Then let me know where you're watching from. Your first name, so hashtag like your first name, hashtag live, your first name and where you're watching from. I'm excited to be here. Happy New Year. Today is the first day of January 2026, and I'm excited that we all made it to to the new year. All right, so today I'm just going to be talking. I'm going to go straight to it so that I don't take your time. You can get back to enjoying yourself on this new year. Yeah, but in the meantime, we're going to be talking about why motivation is not enough, right? And how you can succeed as a realtor in 2026. Welcome, Priscilla. Welcome, Daniel. Good to have you all here, right? Welcome, 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 and welcome. Right. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be very honest with you. Sincerely, I wouldn't want to take so much of your time. I want to just get this and get out of your face so that you can go and enjoy yourself. If you can hear me clearly, please type one in the comment section. If you can see my screen clearly, type two in the comment section. Amazing. So I'm going to be very honest with you. Let me be very honest with you. Most people do not fail because they are lazy. They fail because they are confused. All right. Thank you so much for the feedback. I do appreciate you. Welcome, everybody. Most people don't fail because they are lazy. No, most people don't fail because they are not motivated enough. That's not why they fail. Most people fail because they are confused. Okay, you don't fail because you're lazy. You don't fail because you're not motivation enough. You're motivated enough. You don't fail because you are you don't desire what you desire, right? Most people fail because they are confused. So you wake up in the morning every day. I mean, you're excited, you're motivated. This is January 2026, right? You're excited, you're motivated. Let's go and make that money. I don't know what your income goals are for 2026, but you're excited to make it. But there are days, there are mornings where you're going to wake up and you're not sure what to post that day. You're not so sure about what to do. As a matter of fact, there are days that you will go by, right? And you're not so certain about what you need to do that day. You don't know who you need to talk to, right? You don't know what actually matters for the day. Okay. At that point, as much as and you know how these things work, and the little things you're even trying to do, they don't seem to be working, right? And sometimes too, you don't know how to even measure if what you're doing is even working at all. Okay. And that's true. I need to be sure that I'm live on my page too, right? You don't know how to measure if what you're doing is working at all. Okay, so you see, that is the situation of most people, most realtors. All right. And 2020, 2020, I'm coming. Just give me a moment, please. I want to be sure we're um live on. Okay, great, great, great. Beautiful. I'm live on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. Basically, I just wanted to be sure of that. Okay. So I was saying that you don't know how to even measure what it is you're doing. And at the end of the day, welcome Majid. Majid, my guy. Long time, Majid, right? So you're confused. You don't know how to even measure if what you're doing is working. All right. And so you wait for motivation. You wait for motivation. You wait for someone to encourage you. You wait for if you're, I mean, the person that brought you into real estate or your manager to tell you, okay, let us go. you wait for motivation, and at the end of the day, motivation is not enough, right? Motivation is a feeling. Motivation is just a feeling, and feelings don't last, right? And that's why they say something like motivation is like taking your bath. You have to be doing it every day. But there are times when the motivation literally fades away. Even if you get it now, you get it tomorrow, it fades away. All right. At that point, what do you do? This is why a lot of realtors fail. The thing is, when you set new goals, like in the beginning of the year, like this, you set a new goal. You say, okay, this year we're going to do 50 million naira in commissions every month, right? We're going to do, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? At the beginning, it sounds interesting, right? It sounds very interesting. It sounds doable. And it sounds like, and because the desire is fresh in your heart, you're energetic, you're going. But the problem is that motivation fades. That adrenaline pump will reduce. The excitement will fade away. And once excitement fades, there is nothing left. Confusion sets in. Okay. And this is why I'm bringing this to you today, the first day of the year, because it will happen, right? It will happen. What will, I mean, think about it. If motivation worked, right? If motivation alone worked, January should be your best year, best month of the year. Is that true? Type true in the comments if it's true. Type false if it's not. Because most people are motivated. The gyms, if you go to gym well, January is the gym will be packed out. More than 80% of the gym, like you have 80% occupancy rate. It starts reducing by March. All right. So motivation is not enough. The problem, and then after a while, we start reducing our goal. Right. And this is why Daniel Smith falls, right? This is why it is important that we talk about this thing right now. Now, quick one. Why is motivation not enough? Right. And what should you do about it as a realtor? How do you win as a realtor in 2026? How do you go beyond motivation and win? I'm going to be sharing with you a few things I think you should look out for and implement this year, um, in order to win, right? Beyond motivation, to go past motivation. And even motivation is okay, it's good, but it doesn't last, right? So what do you do when it doesn't last? And here's why motivation doesn't last. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel tired. That's the truth. There are days that you would not feel like waking up at all. All right. There are days that you will not feel like doing work, especially when the previous day or the previous week you didn't see a lot of results. There's a chance that you won't feel like doing much. I'm going to take your questions at the end of this section. If you have questions, please just leave it in the comment section. Welcome, Muhammad. Welcome, Nafisa. Nafisa, it's good to see you here. Welcome, Daniel, Obunaya, Prince. Good to have you all here. Good, God will. Good to have you all here, right? Um, so there are days you not feel like doing what you have to do. Success in itself is both boring, is monotonous. The activities that lead to success, they are boring, they are monotonous, they can be very exhausting at times, right? And so it's okay, it is normal that you wake up sometimes and you don't feel like it, especially when the results has not started coming. And this is why motivation is not enough. Okay. You know, Before the result begins to show, it will work on you before it works for you. All right. The work works on you before it works for you. Right. So the problem with motivation alone is that process where the work is working on you, it is making you, is building you into the person, right? It's giving you the capacity and making you be that person that can accomplish that goal that you want to accomplish. Usually, if it's only motivation you have at that point, you will get tired, you get exhausted. But what else do you need in order to succeed? How do you win as a realtor in 2026? And it's one word: direction. Everybody type direction in the comment section. Just type direction. Direction. Direction is the game changer. All right. Motivation is okay. But direction, motivation plus direction is a game changer. Why? Motivation is a feeling, direction is a manual. Is what? It's a manual. Let me tell you what direction means. Direction means that you know where you're going to. All right. Direction means that you know what you're working on. Like, as a matter of fact, you know what you're going to do between now and the end of the month, at least. Right. Direction means that you know what you do today. You know that tomorrow by 7 p.m., you're going to do this. That is direction. Please type direction in the comment section again. Direction. I remember in 2021, and this is a true story. Now, this is my own experience. In 2021, so 2020, end of the year, I decided to start real estate, right? I was doing a lot of other things. And when my second child came, I told this in the webinar a few days ago. If you've not watched that webinar, maybe we'll leave the link in the comment section before it's taken down, right? And so that 2020 ending, I started, and as a digital marketer, I used to be a digital marketer, so I started running ads. But you know, when ads does not have direction, and when you don't have a proper game plan for your business, right? At a point, it will feel like your ads is not working. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You're doing this, you're running ads. You've put like maybe 5 to 10K per day for a month. And at the end of the month, you have a lot of leads. You have people come ask you questions, but you have not made any sale. Meanwhile, you're depending on the sale from the money to run the next month's ads, and then it doesn't come. That was my situation. That's my story. By ending of December 2020, I had run ads with all the remaining money I had, and I didn't know what to do again. So by 2021, by December of that same 2020, I was studying, and then I remembered I stumbled on, you know, a few things by Russell Brunson. I was reading one of his books. I don't know if that book is even here. I was reading one of his book, Expert Secrets. It's not here. It's not here. Right. I was reading that book, Expert Secret, and something jumped out at me. How that he talked about, if you settle down and do something like a a marketing activity consecutively for a period of 100 days, that your business will change, right? Consecutively. No matter how you feel, consecutively. He said that kind of thing. And by January 20, so that's December, ending of December, I decided to build a structure around my business. Somebody typed direction again. So I decided to put direction to my business, because initially I was just gambling. I was trying out a lot of things, hoping this one will work, tried out ads, tried out this other one, tried out that one, hoping it to work. Then I decided to put direction in my business. And so by January of 2021, I decided to go on a 90 days challenge. So my goal was to create 100 videos in 90 days. And I'll talk to you about the science of that later. Or for those that are going to be attending the challenge, the Make More Commissions challenge, we'll talk a bit more about the science behind that. Right. So I decided to go on a 90 days challenge. So from January 1st, and this is why I'm passionate about the book title is called Expert Secrets. Expert Secrets. Okay, it's not here. I'd have shown you the book, Expert Secrets. It's not here. So that's why I'm passionate about first of the year, right? Because it gives you, like, the motivation is high, the goal is still clear. So it's important to cash in on the momentum, right? On the energy. And so that 1st of January 2021, I can never forget that day. I I I decided. And the word deciding is different from making a choice. Making a choice, you have options, so you can choose. Deciding means you're cutting off every other option. So when you say you've decided, I hope you know what you're talking about, right? So that January, I decided, right, that I'm going to make this thing work, right? So the major ingredient for me in making your business work is to have a structure, a direction. Ah, once you have a direction, you have activity, a certain activity in a certain direction, right? There's a very high chance your business will succeed. To me, that's one of the major things that differentiates, high flying realtors from every other one, right? And so by 1st of January, I started. So my goal was to make 100 videos in 90 days. Of course, by the 28th or so of January, I had my first sale. I had done back to back videos from 1st of January till I think like 25th of January, back to back videos. By the time I got to towards the end of January, I started getting calls. I started getting, inspections, so it's kind of slowed down my video making production for the next 2, 3 days, But I went back to back. By March of that year, my goal for March was to start making 1 million naira in commissions every month. That was my goal by March. Of course, I didn't hit the goal in March, but by I think May of that year, I hit the goal. The beauty, however, is that the rest of the year, those activity in that direction I did in the beginning of the year brought me leads for the rest of the year. And of course, I did not stop, right? Because I had seen a formula that works, right? And it's just simply putting a structure around the business. So there are mornings when I woke up and I didn't feel like it. But because I have a direction that I'm heading to, all right, I just had, it doesn't matter how I feel. And that's the difference between direction and motivation. Motivation is like you're starting out your engine. You know all those, I passed my neighbor generator that the oil have blocked the plug. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Oil has blocked the plug, and you keep drawing it. The generator is saying, generator is saying, generator is not motivated. You know, that's how a lot of us treat our business, right? You wait for motivation. Direction, on the other hand, is like Google Map. It's like Google Map. Okay. You put in the map. From the first time I came to Abuja up until much recently, I use Google Map a lot. Google Map, you have a direction, you know where you're going to, Abi. All you need to do is to put the Google Map, excuse me, put that location you're going to. In your case now, your location is the amount you want to make, for instance. You just put it there. Google Map plots a graph for you. Is that not it? Right? And shows you the shortest distance between where you are and where you're going to. Is that not it? And so all you need to do is enter your car, follow the map, turn right, turn left. Even though sometimes this will tell you, turn, enter the water. But the point I'm trying to make is that most times there's a direction. So you see the difference between motivation and direction. Motivation follows your feelings, right? Sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't feel like it. I know the interesting thing is that the world does not care how you feel. How you feel is very immaterial, is very irrelevant to the art of making money. Do you understand that? It's practically irrelevant. It does not count, right? How you feel really does not count. And this is not trying to bash you or trying to make you feel bad. I mean, even if you do, the fact is the fact. It is what it is, right? You can't go to the bank and say, oh, so sorry, I don't feel very good today. Please give me money. Will they give you? All right. Once you know your destination, you don't need motivation to drive. All right. Right? Motivation is better than direction. Now, for realtors, confusion shows up like this. How do you know you're confused? Like I said in the beginning, most times you're not lazy. Most times it's not like you're not trying, But most times you're just confused. Sometimes you wake up, you're not sure of what to do. Sometimes you wake up and you don't know what direction to go to today. And it shows, how do you know you're confused, or how do you know you lack direction? First, you wake up in the morning sometimes and you ask yourself, what do I post today? For those of you that use the online space, you ask yourself, what do I post today? Um, so sometimes you post, sometimes you don't. So sometimes you begin to look for what to post, and before you know, you doom scroll for another 2 hours. By the time you realize yourself, you're now tired, you're exhausted. You now tell yourself that, okay, tomorrow I'll do it. All right. Tomorrow comes and you may not do it. All right. You shift it again to next week. It's just like a lot of you now. Instead of you to start your action today, you start shifting it to when work resume. How many of you are on that table? Let me know in the comment section. Don't be shy. Raise your hand. In your mind, instead of you to start today, you're still on holiday spirit. You now tell yourself that 5th, when work resume, or 12th, when work resume, you're going to start. Do you get? Do you understand? Stuff like that. So you're not posting, or you're not making progress because you have a direction problem. No, because you have actually you have a direction problem. It's not because you're not motivated. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you are. Of course, except a few of you that are lazy. Of course, a lot of them are raising their hands. So I mean, those are the signs. That's what I'm trying to say. You say, all right, sir. Right? You're not lazy, you're just unclear. Sometimes lack of clarity comes in that form. And that's a subtle form of procrastination. January has started. And like I tell my team members and I tell my friend, your bill is counting, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you decide to start on the 15th of January or you decide to start today, your bill is counting. And the interesting thing is that the earlier they start, the more you get into momentum. All right. The more you get into momentum. So here's a breakdown of um here's what direction looks like for you as a realtor. Let me just let you like here's what you will get when you have direction. First, you will be clear on who you're talking to per time. Like, you're not talking to everybody. I don't get realtors that everybody that calls you or sends you something to do, you're everywhere. They tell you that they want rent in Wuse, you jump to there. They tell you that they want like somebody sent me a brief recently. Say they want his client wants five 5,000 square meters of land in Jabi, and I told him that I don't do 5,000 square meters of land in Jabi, at least not for now. I have a direction. And the guy goes, but you're a realtor now. I said, yes, I'm a real estate consultant, but personally I have a direction. I don't jump on everything. It's not everything you bring my table that I work on. All right. That is how to know. That's what direction looks like. Okay. Um, what are the solutions you're bringing to the table? You're clear about your solutions. Personally, I don't do rent. Recently, a client of mine that bought a property came back from the US and asked me to help to show him the place. He had not seen the place. And while on our way to the place, he now said, oh, Jeff, I want to buy more, but, but please help me get somewhere to rent first. Then after, I said, sir, I don't do rent. However, I have a colleague that does rent. And I simply forwarded him her her number. And then he told me that, but I'll pay you if you help me. I said, sir, I don't do it. Right? Clarity. I'm very clear on what I do and what I don't do. I'm very clear on the solutions I bring. It doesn't matter how much you want to give me at that point, right? I have a direction. I have a solution, a clear value proposition I'm bringing to the market. That is what direction looks like, right? Direction number 3 also looks like action. So what is the let me say, what are the 2 core actions you take daily, right? If I ask you now in the comment section, well, what would you say they are? What are the 2 core actions you take daily, right? Not plenty, just 2. What is the number 1 action you must take daily? It is part of your daily activity. All right. That is what direction look like. When you can define these things, you can define who you serve, who your not everybody is your target market. Number two, what solutions you're bringing to them. Exact solutions, not random solutions. Real estate is broad. All right. It's broad. So just exact. What niche are you? There's one guy I know in Abuja. His niche, his area is just FAB Metropolis. How many of you know FAB Metropolis in Abuja? FAB Metropolis in Karsana. That is the only place the guy focuses on. Like the guy, and when he showed me how much he's making and how he has bought a property in that FAB as well as is building to sell. And I asked him, he said, this is the only place he markets. From the inception, close to when they were selling just lands in the place till now, that is all he markets. I mean, that's some clarity, that's some precision. All right. All right. So this is what direction looks like. You stop guessing, you stop scrolling up and down, doom scrolling in the name of thinking of what to chat. And you know how ChatGPT does not help you if you don't have a direction. No. You even get more confused because the more you type, the more you chat, the more it gives you things, the more it will be confusing you, the more. I feel like you must have direction to be able to use ChatGPT correctly. Who knows what I'm talking about? Say I in the comment section if you know what I'm talking. If you've gone down that ChatGPT route before and falling through that their bottomless pit of chatting, you understand what I'm talking about, right? So clarity gives you direction. Clarity, helps you stop guessing. So clarity, and clarity comes from direction. All right. Now, as I wrap up, I'm just going to wrap up so I don't take your time. Here's some action plan you need to do today. Think about a few of these things. I'm going to give you a few things you can do today, right? And of course, the rest we'll talk about it in the challenge, in the Make More Commissions challenge, right? So the first thing you need to do, I need you to get a pen and paper right now and write these things down so that you're sure if you're just being motivated or you have a clear direction on what to do to win in 2026. Okay, so the first thing is, what area of real estate will you be known for? Right? Have you decided that? Are you clear about that? What direction in real estate are you? There are people, and I'll just add this here, there are people that have the grace for multiple locations. All right. My friend Tonya, I mean, Tonya can do Lagos, Abuja, and she will keep winning Realtor of the Year in all these places, right? And I mean, she wins awards in all these places. And I used to tell her that you have the grace. Now, if you have the grace for that, beautiful. If you don't have the grace for that, or you've not honed your skill in a certain direction, I will advise that you first man a city, take charge of the city, understand the place. I mean, when they are thinking of a city, they think of you. You know that kind of thing, right? So, what area? So, you need to answer that question yourself, right? Answer that question. I won't be seeing your answers, but just to do that. If you're writing, let me know in the comment section. Put the fire emoji in the comment section if you're writing, so that I will know if I should just go on or end the live and just right. So, the first is, ask yourself, what area of real estate do you want to be known for? Because whatever area you choose, you're definitely going to make money in it. All right. So are you going to be known for high tickets? That's high end areas, maybe rents, high end rents, or lands and houses. Okay. Welcome, Ibiam. Ibiam, it's good to see you. Happy New Year. My people are here. Beautiful, beautiful. Right. Are you going to be known for high ticket products? That is either high end rent. I know a friend of mine that used to do rent in Enugu below 1 million. Once it's below 1 million, the guy will not do. Right. That is a direction. All right. That's a niche. Welcome, Ben Olisa. Ben Olis, good to have you here. Jacinta, Real Moses, my guys are here. Beautiful. So what area will you be known for? Will you be known for low tickets, low ticket rent, Like, you know how some people will just man an area like Guarimpa. I know a realtor in Abuja that his area is Guarimpa. He doesn't go away from Guarimpa. So if you touch Guarimpa, the guy will take you to nooks and crannies. That is his area, right? Will you be known for land banking? That's emerging locations. What will you be known for, right? And any of these places you're going to be known for, I also advise that you start with the lowest hanging fruit. Okay, don't wait to, for instance, if you want to be known for luxury, which is very okay, don't wait. I would suggest, this is my suggestion, this is my thoughts, right? Don't wait till, because luxury, you need money. In a place like Abuja, you want to do luxury, you're not driving a Benz, you're not holding an iPhone 17 Pro Max. See, there's no such thing as I'm good. It's a lie. You will look it, you will look the parts, right? You would have an office maybe in Made Tama, right? You have an office there, or you have an office somewhere in, high end Asokoro, because you can't be selling high end and you carry your clients to Karu. So my advice is start from the lowest hanging fruits, then build your way up. You know where you want to head to, but you don't wait till you have everything in place before you get there, right? These are the conversations we're going to be having, kind of conversations we have in the Make More Commissions Challenge. So I've talked about step number one. What did I say step number one is? What did I say step number one? Welcome, Chisom Nam from Uyo. Good to have you here, right? Step number two, choose your platforms. Of course, I want to assume that you all here, of course, I know I'm talking to people that are willing to use social media to sell, right? I know I'm talking to you, right? Choose your platforms. And especially in the beginning, when you don't have a lot of team members, you don't have team members that can help you multiply your effort in different platforms. I would suggest that you choose one primary platform and one secondary platform and stay there. Possibly do this for the rest of the year, right? If you're able to build one, like, it's the power of focus. If you can focus on this one, build it, be strong in it, build an audience there, right? It is now easier to leverage that one that is standing to build the others. All right? Right? So do that. One primary, one secondary. For me, my primary is YouTube, my secondary is WhatsApp, right? So I use my WhatsApp status. And maybe I can say my secondary is both Facebook and WhatsApp, because Facebook is not my primary point of sales. For me, for some other people, it could be, but for me, it's not, right? Then number three action. What did I say number one is? I hope you guys are listening, right? What did I say number one is? What is number two? Let me see in the comments. And then number three, decide your most important marketing action daily. What is your most important marketing action daily? Now, write it down too. Look at it and write it. So, like, my most marketing action daily is XYZ. On the day two of the Make More Commissions Challenge, we're going to be dissecting marketing activities. That's where day two and day three we talk about marketing activities. So for you, think about it. What is your major marketing activity daily? Okay, write that down too. It's important you know it. And then step four, decide to build your capacity fast. Let me let you in on a secret. It's not a secret, it's an open secret. Success loves speed. Success loves speed. Please help me and type in the comment section. Success loves speed. The energy it takes a plane. If you've flown before, I know you have flown before, right? The plane is taxiing on the tarmac. It's taxiing. So you know when you drive out from the where you enter the plane, Abby, I don't know what that place is called. You now drive slowly to the tarmac. When you get to the tarmac, the pilot now engages the speed. Plane now goes. Brrrr. The way he was driving from that waiting area where people entered, is it driving they call it? What's the word? From that place all the way to the tarmac when he wants to go and take off, all the way to the runway, right? It's not the same thing as when he's taking off. All right. And so when he gets to that point of taking off, he, engages speed. Just imagine if the same energy or momentum now is the word that he used when he was catwalking from that waiting area where they entered the plane to the tarmac. It's the same energy, it's the same momentum he's now using to go and fly. Will you guys ever fly? Like people go catwalk for that tarmac where people go catwalk, go to the end and go and turn and come back. Go start again. Go and turn back. Do you understand? That is how a lot of people treat success and money making, particularly. It loves speed. So, my number four suggestion or action plan for you today is decide to build capacity. How? Fast. How do you do that? You need to build your staying power, right? You need to break through. You need to, just like the pilot, you need to break through the force of gravity. How do you do that? By compressing time and activity. That is why in the beginning of this conversation, when I told my story, I told you about a challenge I did. I did a 100 days challenge from a 90 days challenge to do 100 videos in 90 days. So from January 1st till March, a couple of people come to me and ask me, why do you always, when you're trying to coach people, you tell them to do this? And this is the reason. Sometimes I don't explain it, I just give you the activity because I need you to just go ahead and do it, right? So, but here's the explanation. Um, for you to break through whatever the force of gravity is, your earning ceiling, your earning capacity, right? Your earning capacity, that amount you don't go beyond every month. That's your force of gravity, right? For you to break through that force of gravity, it's not the same way, the same speed you're using now that you can use to break through that force of gravity. You need to build capacity, a higher capacity to be able to break through. And that is why I recommend things like challenges, 7 days challenge, 21 days challenge, 30 days, things like that. It helps you break through. And of course, we're going to do that for those that are going to be attending the class. We're going to do that. Like, we're going to do a solid one, and I'll show you the tricks and hacks to do it, right? But it's important you do it. So decide today that, you know what, my marketing activity or whatever activity I decided to do as marketing, I'm going to compress time. So if you decided before now that you're going to make, for instance, you decided to do 3 live videos every week, for instance, one of the ways to break that, force of gravity is to do like, instead of doing 3 a week, you can now decide to do like 6 a week. You see that you're trying to compress time. So instead of what you would have done in 2 weeks, you're now doing it in 1 week. Right? Two things happens to you. The first is that you begin to get used to it. That is, you've started building capacity in that direction, right? The second thing is that you fail faster. Somebody type in the comment section, fail faster. You fail faster. You would realize the things that will not work faster. And that way, again, success loves speed, right? See, I'm teaching already. I'm really, really teaching because I feel like these are the things that will help you win. Okay. I hope you got value from this. And as a wrap up, you don't really need motivation to succeed. Motivation is okay, but it's not. But motivation alone cannot help you succeed. To to win in 2026, you need direction. All right. One more time, please. Somebody type direction in the comment section. You need a clear, consistent plan on a series of activity with a touch of momentum that can help you break through that force of gravity. All right. I hope this helped you. So for now, focus on clarity, focus on action, and I'm happy to take your questions at this point. If you have any questions, you can just leave it Yeah, drop it for me in the comment section. Fail faster. Absolutely. Fail faster. See, you're going to deceive yourself if you feel like failure is fatal. You're deceiving yourself. In fact, one of the reasons people don't succeed is because they see failure as they see they don't see failure as learning. They see failure as fatal, right? They take on the identity of failure instead of learning from it. The idea of failing is for you to learn. You have just figured out what will not work. Okay. And the concept of failing faster is that you get to figure it out faster. Like, why wait till the end of the year to realize that this thing will not work when you can actually compress time and realize it by January, so that by February you change route and start doing the one that will work? That's what fail faster actually mean. Okay. All right. So with this, we come to the end of today. Any questions? If you don't have any question, is it okay to work with more than one company? That question it lacks context. It lacks context. It depends on what you want to achieve as a person. It doesn't, it's not my business if you're working with one company or more than one company, right? What I know is that your goal is to serve a client. So if you feel like serving a client requires you to work with more than one company, then so be it. The question is vague. It doesn't, it lacks context, right? Because I need to know what like what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? What products do you sell? Who are you serving? How are you serving them? Are you serving them as a freelancer? Are you serving them as a staff of a company? What exactly are you doing, right? If I know these things, then I can advise better, right? And that's not, I don't have context with this question, but I'll just say that as a realtor, right? Your 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 and as a realtor that wants to build, your allegiance, right, is first to serving or providing solution to the prospect or to your clients. I'll leave it at that, right? Were you doing ads on the videos you created during the challenge area? No, I didn't do ads again. I didn't even run ads again after that period. In fact, the whole of 2021, 2022, I didn't run one sponsored post. Even one, I did not. Right. And the way my business is built now, self, and the way I teach my people, ads. Let me say this here. Ads, the idea of ads. When I say ads, I mean sponsored ads. I guess that's what you're asking about. The concept of ads is supposed to help amplify an already existing structure. All right. Most people, however, they don't have a structure. They don't have a structure. They are now using ads to cover up for their laziness and laxity. So they use ads. They feel like, okay, if I just put one, I see some pages and I see one post. The page was just created, one like, one follower. There's no activity on the page, and they just put one video. Sometimes not even their video that one company did. They now carry it and paste there and do sponsored posts. And if you check now, they're just doing like 10K for a month. All right. You're just doing like 10K. You're selling the property and you're just doing like 10K, for instance, for a month. There is no structure. There is no activity behind the ad to collect leads, nurture them, and convert them. Right? There is no presence. Why should they trust you? Are you the only one that is selling what you're selling? So if they click on your page and scroll through, would they see other activities? There's no activity, nothing. So I feel like some people hide behind ads to cover up their laziness and laxity. So for me, ads is your ads help amplify an already tested and existing structure. I mean, I could be wrong, but this is what I see ads as. So there's a structure. There are some videos that are winning. You see that, oh, this video, people like it, boom, you put ads to it. Or even if you're trying to run promotional ads for a property, but you have content and context that sell you as a person, Because people buy you, it's not necessarily the property they buy. I hope I was able to answer you. I'll take two more questions as I wrap up. Um, we're able to, okay. The next question is from Realtor Moses. He said, based on your experience, sir, which platform do you think will give an upcoming realtor the exposure he needs? I explained this during the webinar. So please go and watch the webinar if you've not watched it. Obviously, I don't think you've watched it. I talked about search platforms and interruption platforms. I talked about active buyers and passive buyers. And I can't answer this question for you. I will just give you. So I mean, it's better to give you to teach you what it is, right? There are search platforms and there are interruption platforms. Search platforms are platforms like Google, YouTube. Interaction platforms are platforms like Meta, TikTok. Search platform simply means that people go to search for something, right? They search for something and then they find you. Interaction platforms are platforms where people are just scrolling on their own. They're not looking for you. Then boom, your video pops up and interrupts them. I hope it's clear. Now, whether you're using search platforms or interruption platforms, it is not the problem. The problem is understanding what you're doing and putting in the work. There is no magic platform anywhere. All right. There is no platform that way. If you just start now, you just give your exposure is a lie. You will work out your exposure. You work out your exposure by having a direction, by creating a marketing activity, by staying consistent and adding intensity to it. Is that clear? There is no platform that you just wake up now, boom, it's just. I hear people say things like, oh, if you want to sell properties very well, go to Instagram. Oh, if you want to sell property well, go to Facebook. It's all a lie. It is not the platform in itself. It is the platform is like a leverage. It is your activity on the platform, right? Your knowledge on what you're doing. And like I said right now, direction, right? You have a structure around what you're doing, right? Then you're consistent about it, consistency, and you add a lot of intensity to it, speed, right? Success loves speed. Then you start getting results. I know people that sell very well on Instagram, very well. I know people that sell very well on Facebook. I know people that started selling on TikTok. For me, I use YouTube more. I also know some realtors that use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is their major platform and they are succeeding. I know also others that use traffic lights. Traffic light is their major platform and they are succeeding. So it doesn't matter the platform. The thing is to understand what you're doing and implement the language of the platform plus consistency in order to win. I hope I answered that question. Um, Oopsie, where are my questions? What do you do when you don't think of what to talk about when making a video? That's why you need a structure. You have to think about it before the day. You don't prepare for war in the war field. All right. You don't wake up in the morning and start thinking, what should I do? That's the recipe of failure. Like you've already decided to fail. All right. If you don't wake up in the morning and start saying, what do I post today? Oh?" No, you need to prepare for it. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need it's not motivation. So in the morning, if you feel motivated to post, then you post. But direction will change the game for you. And that's the problem of most realtors. You wake up in the morning and start thinking, what should I post today? You don't have direction. It's a recipe of failure. This year will be like last year if you don't implement direction to your business. Okay, I hope I answered that question. Is it okay? Obunaya is asking. I live in a city where there aren't many serious real estate companies, so that's an opportunity for you, man. Eh? I live in a city where there aren't many serious real estate companies, so most of the properties I sell are from original landlords. Can this structure also work? Yes, it can. Yes, it's not. You not understand. Like I wish you guys will understand this thing. It is not the product. It is not the company. It is not the platform, it is your strategy. Like, what is your game plan? It is not. So your game plan will now fit into the product that it is. I don't know if it makes sense. So you decide to sell individual plots, for instance. So you're selling. I know, and I know people that their core focus on commercial plots, or all this kind of, like in Abuja, all this kind of 1,000 square meter, 5,000 square meter. That is their own um focus. Now that it is your focus, this is your product. All right. These are your target market. That's why I said define your target market, define your solution, define your target market, define your solution. Now that you have defined this, what action plan can you put around this that can help you win? It is not a product, it is not a platform, it's just you not having a direction. All right. So, yes, structure. Once you put a structure around your marketing, you can win. Of course, we'll talk around structure in the class, especially for those that are attending the VIP class. That's the 4 weeks of 3 weeks of extra training. We'll dive deep into that one during that period. Um, Evergreen Home says, Leslie spoke on generating over 1,000 leads on a sale. Please, can one manage these leads after generation? There's something called a funnel, right? Attraction, interest, desire, and then action. If 1,000 people see your content, it is not the whole 1,000 that will reach out. All right. So 1,000 see the formula is called the 1,110 rule, right? Rule of leads or principle of leads. So if the 1,000 people see your content, it is not the 1,000 that would reach out to you. Is that not it? I'll give you an instance. So I ran a webinar. I invited people to a webinar. I think around 1,400 people or so indicated interest, registered, and joined the waiting groups, right? About 1,400 people. Now, on the day of the webinar, around 300 people showed up live. I think a little above 300. All right. After the webinar, the numbers reduced again. A few people showed desire, right? A few people have paid, a number of people have paid for the class, okay? And of course, I know before 6th of January, a good more number will pay. Now, inside the number that paid, maybe like, let's say for instance, 100 out of the 300 pay. Remember, 1,400, Abi, 300, a little above 300, were like 320 or so that attended live, right? Then inside the 320, about say 100 people paid for the class. If 100 people paid for the class, there's a chance that it's only 10 people that will implement and get results. All right. So my business is not necessarily with the one that to answer your question now, how do you manage the 1,000? Your business is not with the 1,000. The 1,000 people have seen your advert. Your business is with the 100 that will reach out to you. That's your business. Okay, that's the people you're focused on. So the 100 that will reach out to you, inside the 100 that reach out to you, right? Maybe like 10 of them will come for inspection. Okay, 10 of them will come for inspection. They'll come and investigate your product as well. All right. So inside the 10. Then inside that 10 that came for inspection and for investigation, maybe just one or two will buy. So you're managing the 100, the 10, and the one. That's all. Make sense? Make sense? I hope I answered your question too. Yeah, I saw the thing on traffic light. All right, guys. So this is the end of today. I appreciate you. Remember that for now, focus on clarity and action. Just clarity and action. It doesn't matter how you feel. Forget about how you feel. Design an action plan with a direction for the rest of the month, maybe for the next 3 months, or even for the year. I like to start with, you know, progressively. All right. Then once you focus on that, I mean, it doesn't matter how you feel, and forget about Don't put your mind in if the result is coming today or not. Just keep going, all right? And I'm definitely sure the results will show up for you. So for those that are interested in attending the class, the opportunity is still open. The Make More Commission Challenge, which is a 5 days intensive action-packed training where I'm going to be sharing with you for 5 days from the 20th to 24th of January. And we'll try to make sure that we design action plans for everybody that they can implement, and also provide accountability to for you to implement, right? It's going to happen on there's information in the description or in the comments of this video. If you click there, you'll see more information, or send a WhatsApp message to the number. Till then, Happy New Year, and ensure that don't just rely on motivation, get direction. All right. I'll see you on top.